Talking about WWF and your departure and stuff like that, you mentioned briefly that you had heat with Shawn. What was that all over?
Well, we were more our names are together. We're more known as not getting along. But there was a majority of the time. I mean, we rode with them guys too for a while, and the heat with Shawn just started because there was rumors about him and Tanya, but it started even before that, just because he can be a dick sometimes, And it started one night we were in Springfield, Massachusetts, and there was a lumberjack match with Shawn and Brett, and all of us on the outside. And the finish was when Shawn takes the bump over, all the heels in their baby faces. We all go with our guy, and just Owen and Davey, I think, were supposed to get to Shawn and throw him back in for Brett to beat him. Well, they go into the spot of the match, and here comes Shawn. He takes a big bump over the top and lands right at my feet. And now Phineas, not the fastest man in the world, is way over there. I mean, that's not his fault. I could have ran and got him, but he falls at my feet. Davey and Owen are over there, fucking around. They always, where's the house shows? They're fucking, playing practical jokes on each other or something. I'm like, well, damn, somebody better kick him. So I fucking kick him, and he looks up and starts yelling at me. Stopped selling and was hot. We got in the back, and 1-2-3 Kid did the same thing. He was next to me, so we both put the boots to him. He got back and screamed at both of us, which, in the big picture of things, as I got older and when I went to ECW, and I was, not in his same role, but like a guy who was higher up on the card, and we were going through problems there, and guys lower on the card would do something stupid, and I was a hothead too. So sometimes you would yell at somebody, but when somebody yells at you, you act and you fucking yell back, which didn't really get over with him too well. And then so he thought I wanted to fight him, so we're going out to the parking lot that night, and he was like, "Oh, you want to hit me, and and Vince and Hunter are holding him back, and I'm like, I don't want to fight anybody. I'm like, but don't fucking yell at me. If I was wrong, I was wrong. What the fuck do you want me to do? You landed right at my fucking feet, and we just became, business was really bad at the time. So everybody wasn't making fantastic money. And there was all the pressure was being put on his shoulders because he was the guy that was supposed to be drawing the houses, and just through no fault of anybody's, there was not many people there. So I guess he was feeling the pressure of being in that spot. And it was a spot that he felt he deserved for a longer time than, he's finally getting the shot he thought he deserved. Here I was, a young, abrasive guy, pretty much the same. I think we didn't get along because we were too much the same person. We were both young, and we were both fucking wise asses, and we both thought we were really good at what we did. But he was, a couple years older than me, so was already in that spot, and I was in the spot that he used to be in, as the young guy underneath, who people are kind of saying is good. So when the guy above you, who's supposed to, who's the top guy, yells at you, then you're a dick right back to him. So we just didn't mix well after that.
What was the actual story with him and Tammy, and how would you deal with all that?
Well, it's, first of all, when there's a girl in the business, you're surrounded by guys who are on the road for a long period of time, who are also full of testosterone, and we're, from the very fact that at some point in our lives, we say that we want to be professional wrestlers, we're obviously something fucking mentally wrong with us. Okay, so that's number one. You get all those guys and you put us together, and we have to travel around together in, in a cosmetic business and stuff. There's different people act different ways. And then you throw a few girls into the mix, but back then you threw just one girl into the mix. There was going to inevitably be something said, and you have nobody else. You're a guy on the road. You have your wife, your girlfriend's home. There may not be a rat in the town that day. You have to look at somebody, and she's the thing closest to you. So there's going to inevitably be rumors and stuff said and whatnot. But the thing with Shawn is he was 24 hours a day the Heartbreak Kid. He wasn't just a guy who played a character. He was, he thought, or whether he really did think it, or whether he was just doing it just to fuck with me, or just he, legitimately tried to act like the Heartbreak Kid 24 hours a day. So at first it didn't bother me because it's common sense that shit's gonna be said. But we were together fucking 24 hours a day. Even when I'm in the ring, she's right fucking next to me. So if the only time anything does happen, and I have the tape of it, there was also a goat involved, and I'll sell it to you for a lot more money. But
so there is no tape of her and Shawn, because there's rumors that there was a tape.
No.
Okay.
Well, if there was, wouldn't somebody fucking have it? Of all people, wouldn't you fucking have it?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you did, wouldn't it be in your newsletter gimmick and you'd be fucking selling it?
Basically.
So
the rumors of her and Shawn are pretty much not true.
Well, I'll put it this way. I would, like to just believe that nothing happened. If something I'm sure if something did happen, they're not going to fucking tape it, for God's sake. I mean, that would be just stupid to fucking do. But they're...
Did it ever get to the point where you actually had to question Tammy on and be like, yo, this is what I'm hearing?
No, I mean, well, you question your... I mean, people are married for 40 years, and like, you know, and they go out to dinner with their secretary or something, the wife gets hot on them. It's just human nature. So, I mean, especially in being, you know, and being young and abrasive, too. I mean, so, of course, we questioned it, and it caused arguments between us and stuff like that, but, I mean, there's nothing she could have done about it. I mean, there's stuff is going to be said because she was the only girl, plus she was the top girl, and Shawn's the top guy. So, like, and, you know, in the smart fans' eyes, too, I mean, like, people would like, yell and stuff to me because in their eyes it made no sense for the girl who was, like, the top girl in the business. Well, why the fuck is she going out with Skip? You know what I mean? It didn't seem like a perfect match to anybody, you know what I mean? But, you know, you couldn't get around stuff being said. It was just obvious that it was going to fucking have to happen, you know?
What about the Davey Boy Smith rumors? There's all rumors about her and Davey Boy.
Yeah, and I didn't even hear that one until recently, and the poor guy's already been gone for quite a long time. We rode with Davey all the time, you know, and we were always together, but Davey wasn't even a guy that would, like, you know, he never, like, rattled around or anything like that either, you know, because Diana would legitimately fucking be able to kick his ass. She stretched me, Dustin, and Stone Cold one night in the Cow Palace in San Francisco in like 35 seconds. Like, Stu was teaching me this move, Skip. Can I show it to you? I'm like, yeah, Diana. It's like, here. She put me in it. It's like, try and get out. I tried to get out, and she, boom, had me. And then Dustin's like, God, doomed it to him, and Steve's, you guys are fucking stupid. And she checked him out, too. So Davey didn't fuck around with anybody.
All right. That's awesome. When Tammy did the Vixen stuff, were you for or against it, and was she against it?
She was kind of tentative about it because it's, you know, it's not an easy thing to do.
Right.
But I mean, we needed financially, we needed it, and I said, well, just don't do anything that you're not comfortable doing. You know, I said, take the picture is fine. I said, you know, don't, you know, go fucking jamming fucking cameras up your crotch. I said,
right.
I said, no one's, me, anybody included, she's not gonna do anything she doesn't want to do.
Right.
Not just taking pictures in her entire life. No one's gonna ever tell her to do something. I said, just fucking be you. If they tell you to do something you don't want to do, just be you and say, fuck you, I'm not doing it. You know, so I mean, it didn't really bother me at all.
As far as, was there ever an incident up there in at the guy's house, whoever they were taking pictures at, where you trashed the guy's equipment or something?
No, it was at the studio or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I had come back from Japan and drove right to Reading to meet them at the deal.
Right.
And I think it was one of your dudes. Was it you that was there?
No, it was Eric.
No, it was Eric.
Somebody was there taping it, and I walked in. I'm like, hey, and I mean, and I was sitting there for a while. I mean, it was just weird because I mean, you know, she was like, you sure I want to do this? They had done one shoot already.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Just don't do anything fucked up. But I mean, and truthfully, I mean, it's somewhat arousing seeing your wife there with another fucking hot girl taking pictures. It was cool. So I'm just sitting there the whole day. Like this. Also, look, there's some dude with a camera filming it. I'm like, me not thinking because, you know, I mean, it wasn't easy for her to do that stuff. So, and not to blame it on Missy. I mean, you know, we're grown ups, but I mean, you know, she had to be under the influence to be doing that. You know what I mean? So I was too, because I had the other influence to watch him do it. It was hurting my feelings so badly. So I mean, so not thinking that, well, obviously everybody sees this guy with the camera right here, and I mean, you know, Missy was this is my thing, and so the guy, she obviously sees him, and if she didn't know he was there and wasn't doing something, you know, financially with him, she'd be flipping out way before me. But once again, I'm only thinking that now, fucking 4 years after the fact. You know, I see the guy and just fucking flip out, and then the guy calls the cops on me, and he had like old cameras, like old classics on tripods. I just start throwing the shit at him, and the cops came out. Why let me drive back to the hotel? I don't know.
Right. I
drove back to the hotel, and they wouldn't let me in the room. So I'm going to the front desk, and like, what's your name? I was like, giving my passport, my papers, all kind of stuff. But once again, I think the room's not under my name, so I'm like, oh shit, it's under Tammy's name. No. It's under Missy's name. No. Under whatever the fuck it is, Vixens or Phoenix Multimedia. So she's like, you just can't keep picking names out of the fucking sky and hoping that one name, you know, is under fucking Eric Nuthouse, is under John Rector, and hope one name is I fucking pick right. It's like, I can't let you in. So I go around the back, and that dude Sal and his buddy were in the room next to us. So I look at the window. I'm like, fuck, like, let me in. I'm banging on the window, and they're just like looking at me like, it's like, motherfucker, I'm banging on it again. I headbutted my head through the fucking window and screamed at him. and he was yelling at me. He didn't even know who I was.
Right.
You know, so I come running back around. I kicked the door open and went to sleep.
Huh. Now, did you guys ever have to take any other jobs outside of wrestling to make ends meet at all, or
no?
No. Okay, cool.
Did Tammy think, like, since she was doing the Vixens that, wow, I made a mistake by not doing Playboy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once again, her being her, she didn't do it because she wasn't asked to do it. She was told to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Playboy thing, I mean. You know, it wasn't
Right.
like, hey, do you want to do this? You can make this. You know, her thing was like, you know.
That might be one thing that she kind of regretted.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because she's pretty much was the forerunner of all what they're doing now.
Yeah, yeah. She, it's you know, it's something that she would, you know, now would you know would like to have done, but they just didn't go about making the presentation the right way. And once again, it was still we were young and rebellious and fucking wise guys, so we're like, don't fucking tell me to do anything. Because that's kind of, I mean, that's something that is kind of touchy. You know what I mean? You don't. I mean, because she, I mean, in actuality, I mean, she was like, well, let me go outside and ask Chris, and it's cool with him because it's kind of. You know, I mean, it's a rough thing. We already went through the rumors with fucking Shawn and fucking Brett and the fucking janitor and fucking whoever else. I mean, he's like, well, I probably should ask him this. And they're like, well, you're doing it or you're not doing it. She was like, well, fuck you, I'm not doing it. But that was probably the wrong thing to do.
Do you think anyone took unnecessary shots? I guess either of you guys during your low periods in interviews or on the internet.
You know, I'm sure they did. I really didn't, but I didn't really read anything or follow anything just because when I did, that's all I would see. So I just didn't need anything to make me more in a bad mood.
Did you read the newsletters at all, or no?
No, I stopped fucking reading for a long time.
Did Cornette ever like try to be a mentor to you guys over the last couple of years, or even during your problems?
He tried, but I was so aggravated because like WCW I got fucked, ECW I got fucked, and I had nothing really to do. In my mind, had nothing to do with whatever substance I was taking, but in a roundabout way it did because. Well, they wouldn't have been able to say she was taking Nubane if we weren't known to have been fucked up. They wouldn't have been able to say this. You know, if the stuff like that you know, when my Paulie fired me, the stuff with I fucking broke my arm and worked anyway for Eric Bischoff. None of that had anything to do with drugs, but at the same time, it gave them an easy out if they were still worried about me being fucked up. You know what I mean? So, had I went ahead and done something about it a lot sooner, well, that probably would not have happened and stuff.